I think all the jury would agree that they have taken the task extremely seriously. We really took the past 6 days have been very intense. We all learned from each other. It's a very, very diverse jury, which in some way reflects the industry. We have people from completely different backgrounds, so each of us took away something from the other. It was incredibly hard work, but I think we're all happy with the results. The judging process is meticulous. I had no idea it was going to be quite like this. I think only one of us had ever been in the jury before, but for the rest of us, it was a process of discovery. It's incredibly well managed, and really from the beginning, you go through a lot of work to treat things in the most respectful way with a limited amount of time. And then it's only after you've gone through a lot of work that you start to begin to discuss things, and that's when it starts to get really interesting. So judging is a negotiation of ideas. Everyone is coming from a different background. Each person puts their points forward, and I think all of us were very open-minded to learn things and to adapt our choices about what was important. Quite early on in the process, we asked ourselves, what is important? What should the winners of this competition look like? What are the factors that really make the cut? And I think that we went back to that at 2 points in the process. And when it got down to choosing the final winners, we reminded ourselves of those things. Um, I think that one thing that was very interesting in the process is I think we spent as much time talking about success as failure. So even when things didn't go right, we wanted to know why did they not go right, and what could happen with those pieces to make them better. And sometimes it's really frustrating because there's a piece which you really want to succeed, but if there is a barrier there, something which is important enough, um, there are unfortunately other productions out there which will edge ahead. So at the end of the week, you come away having understood the great many constellation of factors that you must deliver for a successful project. And in reflection, it's completely exhausting. But I think we are very fortunate to have gone through this process. Each one of us has learned a lot from each other and from the entries. That there are a lot of good ideas which we're so fortunate to have been exposed to in that way. I think the winners show that there is really no one approach. A lot of different things can work, and it really depends on your intent, what you're trying to achieve with your work. There are stories which are very small, and there's stories which are very large, and ideally, even the smallest ones speak to a larger issue. There is a lot of variety in approaches, so there is no one technique you need to follow. Choose the approach which just makes the most sense for your particular story and your interests. So I'm really happy with the diversity of the number of subjects which are covered, and on the whole, you see the human condition. There are examples of stories about relationships, about cultures and conflict within them, about tribal differences. You see politics. It goes to show that the multimedia practice is touching a variety of different subjects. Um, I am personally very interested in how photojournalists become visual journalists and take their next step. And I think if anyone out there is looking to see, what direction they should be going, there are a whole range of clues you'll find in these winners. So in terms of how you approach interviews, yeah, it's should be done in a straightforward way, but it should be done really well in terms of how you start to collect sound, and you can see incredible execution of that in projects like Curse to Lose, in terms of how you use archive with the first prize winner in interactive. So how you go back in your files and put them back together to make sense, to build a new story. I think that the winners indicate that there are many things to learn and many options for how you construct your stories, and that is daunting. But that's the direction that we're all going in. at the heart of it, we're seeing great stories with great characters, very well told, and that makes me, and I think us as a jury very happy with the results.